What is going on, YouTube? Thank you for joining me. Today we're looking at some updates I made to the Master Duel Dark Magician deck. We got a couple replays we're going to take a look at. Let's see what's going on.
Now's the time.
My ever-faithful companion, Dark Magician!
I wouldn't have been victorious had it not been for the help of my cards and my friends. Thank you.
What is going on, YouTube? Thank you for joining me. Before we get started in today's video, I wanted to take a moment to let you know that we are hosting 5 free entry tournaments with cash prizes streamed live on Twitch every week. To participate in these tournaments, all you need to do is be in the Discord, link in the description. Almost 900 players in the Discord, active community. We're having a lot of fun. New player helpers are there to give you advice. We'll see you there. Starting off some of the Magician's Rod, search for the, what did I search for? The Salvation, activate Salvation. Salvation's getting the Eternal Soul. Turn the Rod. We turn the Rod into an Artemis. We turn the Rod into an Artemis because with the Rod in the graveyard on our opponent's turn, we're going to activate a card. Anything. We're going to flip over anything. A continuous trap. We could activate a Soul Servant. Any spell or trap. And that'll activate Rod's effect in the grave. And we will be able to tribute a spellcaster and add the Rod back to the hand. Magician's Rod, searching the Salvation, had the circle in the hand. Let's keep it going. They summon the Manju. Here you can see I flip the skill drain. I pay 1,000 life points, negating all monster effects on the field. We're really going to slow down the game state so that basically our opponent can't do any of their monster effects. Our effects don't matter as much on the field. So as you can see right here, Rod's effect in the grave, tributing the Artemis to add the Rod back to the hand. Now, Soul Servant, top decking the Magician's Soul. We're going to take 1,400 damage. Draw the Magician's Soul that we top decked. Send Magician's Soul's effect, send the Dark Magician to the graveyard. Send the Soul to the graveyard, special summon Dark Magician. Dark Magical Circle, banishing the Manju. Summon the Rod, Rod's effect negated by the skill drain. Link summon, I'm Duck. I thought I was going to be able to summon a Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight here, but I really just wanted to link out of the Dark Magician so that I would be able to use the Eternal Soul. Eternal Soul, bringing the Dark Magician back, banishing. Summon the Apprentice Illusion. Here's where I missed lethal. Pretty sure that was a misplay. If I attacked in a different order, I would have been able to use the... Oh no. I missed lethal not because of my own negligence, but because of the skill drain on the field. Okay. If the skill drain wasn't on the field, then the Apprentice would have been able to tribute itself, powering up the Dark Magician for lethal. The Apprentice Illusion Magician powers up Dark Spellcasters by 2,000 attack. You can tribute it from the field or discard it from the hand. Here, they summon their 2. What are these? Hand dolls, but their effects are negated. And then they scoop it. They weren't able to do anything because of the skill drain. This is the second replay I want us to take a look at. Start off, summon the Rod, search Salvation. That's a common thing we're going to do 99% of the time. Summon the Rod, Salvation's effects, set the Eternal Soul, activate Dark Magical Circle, send the, activate the Magician's Soul's effect, sending Dark Magician to the graveyard, sending the Magician's Soul to the graveyard, special summoning Dark Magician. Soul Servant. Banish, activating Soul Servant to top deck. What do we top deck? As we're getting attacked, we're going to flip over the Eternal Soul, triggering the Rod's effect in the graveyard. Here I tribute the Dark Magician to get the rod back to the hand, but now I just summon the Dark Magician back with Eternal Soul. The summoning of the Dark Magician, triggering the Dark Magical Circle, banishing their monster that they had. I forgot what it was. Magician Soul, sending Dark Magician Girl to the graveyard, special summoning it. Summon the rod, search the Eternal Soul. Eternal Soul, top decking. We'll draw 2 by banishing the Eternal Soul. This is Celine. Celine is destroyed here. Negate, yep, destroyed. Here we're gonna summon the Dark Magician. Dark Magical Circle, banishing the defense position monster. Magician Salvation, targeting the Dark Magician, special summoning the Dark Magician Girl from the graveyard, setting 1. That's the Secrets of Dark Magic. Battle phase, dealing a whole bunch of damage, leaving them with 3750. Vampire Retainer. Imperm, negate the familiar. Because they were going to add a vampire monster from the deck to their hand. I wanted to stop that. They've still got their retainer. I'll use the Secrets of Dark Magic, fusion summoning the Dark Magicians. The Dark Magician's effects, let me draw a card. When they get the Vampire Sucker, this is when I'm going to activate the Eternal Soul. Summoning the Dark Magician from the graveyard, activating the circle, banishing the Sucker, chaining the Magician Salvation, targeting the Dark Magician, chain link 3 to myself, summoning the Dogmatic Afflutery from the hand, because there's an extra deck monster on the field. Magician Salvation, summoning the Dark Magician Girl, Dark Magical Circle, banishing. Link 1, Link Spider. Link 4, Access Code Talker. Access Code Talker's effect. Getting 1,000. Banishing the Link Spider to destroy the card on the field. Eternal Soul, summon the Dark Magician. Dark Magical Circle, banishing the Vampire Kingdom field. Magician Salvation, summoning another Dark Magician Girl. The Dark Magicians, drawing a card. Dogmatic Afflutery, Link 2. And that's how you get the Predator Plant Vertex Anaconda. I was going to use the Anaconda's effect for the Magicalized Fusion anyway, but that's how I got to the Quintet. So here you have Access, Quintet, the Dark Magicians, and a whole board. Here's a third bonus replay. And then we're going to talk about the deck. Summon the Rod. Salvation. Searching Salvation. I always search Salvation. Getting the Eternal Soul. Getting the bricks out of the deck. Artemis. Because I'll turn the Rod into an Artemis and I'll search the circle next turn. Dark Magician. Got a Dark Magical Circle. I summon the Dark Magician off of the Magician Souls. Infinite Impermanence, negating the Shiranui Spirit Master. Rod's effect, tributing the Artemis, because I activated the Impermanence. I got 3 rods in my hand. Summon a Rod. Rod's effect. Chainlink 3. Does it go off? Is the Rod's effect allowed? Rod, adding Soul Servant to the hand. Destroying Dark Magical Circle. I top deck the Dark Magical Circle from the graveyard to the deck. Activate the Soul Servant in the grave. Drawing that Dark Magical Circle that I top decked. I get a second Soul Servant off that Dark Magical Circle, because when I activated that circle, I saw the top 3 cards in my deck and added the Soul Servant to my hand. I used that Soul Servant to top deck a Magician Soul. Now we're summoning a Dark Magician, banishing, attacking directly. Tea set. Summon the Rod. Rod's effect. Secrets of Dark Magic. Magician Souls. Vanish. Send the Dark Magician Girl to the graveyard. Link 3. Celine. Celine's effect. 3 counters. Using the 3 counters. Summon the Dark Magician Girl. Eternal Soul. Link 4. Access code. Link Spider. Link 2. Predaplant. Magicalized Fusion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different spellcasters summon quintet. And that's how you play Dark Magician. Let's see what this one has. This is the last replay we have, I think. Start off with a Foolish Burial. They're going first. Set 2. What do we have? We have a Souls. Start off with the Sky Striker. Summon the token. Turn into a Kagari. Kagari's effect. Adding the Micro Hornet Drones from the graveyard to the hand. We're going to activate the Micro Hornet Drones again. Mecha Hornet Drone summoning another token. Now we're going to turn the Kagari into a Kaina. But what they're going to do is they're going to do the Swallow Slash, and they're both destroyed. Stop me in their tracks. But that's okay because we have plays here. Apprentice Illusion Magician, summon it by discarding. What do we discard? Forget. We discarded something. What do we discard? Let's see. Look at the log. We discarded the Mobilize Engage. Okay. Attacking directly, leaving them with 4,000. Solemn Strike, negating and destroying it. Soul Servant, top decking the Magician Soul. Banishing the Soul Servant, draw a card. Magician Soul, sending Dark Magician to the graveyard. Discarding the Magician Soul, summon the Dark Magician. Dark Magician, attacking. They're both destroyed. All we have is 1 Infinite Impermanence set and 1 Dark Magician in the hand. We can take 800, summon the Rod. Rod's effects, add Salvation to the hand. Salvation, set the Soul from the deck. Link into the Artemis. This is late. We usually do the Artemis early. Now, Eternal Soul, flip it over. Summon the Dark Magician. Magician Salvation. Summoning the Dark Magician Girl from the grave. All of that, triggering the Rod's effect in the grave. Tributing the Artemis to add the Rod to the hand. Shogun Saga attacking and destroying the Dark Magician Girl. Negating the Spirit Master with the Impermanence. Summon the Dark Magician. Magician Salvation. Summon the Dark Magician Girl. Summon the Rod. Add the Rod to the Rod adds a circle to the hand. I should have done that first. I don't know maybe why I didn't. Celine adds the counters to it for the spell in the grave. Summon the Dark Magician. That's why, because I got it off there. Okay. I'm Duck. Link Spider. Link 4. Access code. And here we go for Magicalized. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 spellcasters summon Quintet. Quintet blowing up the board. Scoopage. Alright. Now we're going to go and take a look at the deck. This is the deck right here. This is the deck. 2 Dark Magicians, 3 Magician Souls, 3 Max Cs. So before we move forward, the Magician Souls, if you're not familiar, very important to the deck. You can send two Speller Traps. You can send up to 2 Speller Traps from the field or your hand to the graveyard. Draw that many cards. If the Magician Soul's in your hand, you can send 1 level 6 or higher spellcaster from your deck to the graveyard, and then special summon the Magician Soul or special summon Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl from your graveyard. So what you're going to do is you're going to activate its effect, send a Dark Magician or a Dark Magician Girl to the graveyard, and you can either special summon the Magician Soul or the Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl. Next, the 3 Max Cs. I don't know if you're familiar, but if you're not Max C, when your opponent special summons a monster, you activate this card, and after that, when your opponent special summons a monster, you can draw a card. What this does is it encourages your opponent to stop special summoning monsters, or else you're going to keep drawing cards. The only R card in this entire deck, in the entire main deck, I should say, that's not entirely true. 3 of the 7 main and R cards in the main deck, 3 of them are Magician's Rod. Magician's Rod, very important, easy to get, helps search the deck. You search your deck for your Magician's Salvation, like I showed you in the replays. 2 Ash Blossoms, I think it's a nice ratio. 1 Dogmatica Ecclesia. When the Ecclesia is summoned, let's get to this. Let's get to that after. It cannot be destroyed by monsters special summoned from the extra deck, so it helps you stall a little bit. If a monster special summoned from the extra deck is on the field, you can special summon the Ecclesia from your hand. If the Ecclesia is normal or special summon, you can add 1 Dogmatica card from the deck to your hand, except another Ecclesia. But after that, you will not be able to special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of that turn. So that is something to be careful of when you're using Ecclesia's effect. You can special summon the Ecclesia, not use its effect to search for a Dogmatica card, and then continue to extra decks, some special summon monsters from the extra deck, as long as you don't activate Ecclesia's effect to search. Next, we have Dark Magician Girl. Self-explanatory. Helps you turn your Soul Servant into a Pot of Greed. It's not the best card. I wish we didn't have to play it, but I think it's still very important to the deck. 3 Apprentice Illusion Magicians. Helps easy to summon, easy to special summon. Adds Dark Magician to your hand from the deck. I like it. We'll play 3 of them. Dogmatica Fluttery, the Knighted, goes along with your Dogmatica Ecclesia and our 2 Dogmatica Punishment Traps that we're going to get to. Dogmatica Fluttery, similar to the Ecclesia. During the main phase, if a monster special summon from the extra deck is on the field, it's a quick effect. I believe Ecclesia is not a quick effect, but the Fluttery is a quick effect. If a monster special summoned from the extra deck is on the field, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you control another Dogmatica monster, you can target 1 face-up monster on the field, and its effects will be negated until the end of that turn. When a Dogmatica monster declares an attack, the Fluttery can make all Dogmatica monsters you currently control gain 500 attack. Moving on to spells, we have 2 Sky Striker Mobilize Engage. This is a part of your Sky Striker engine, helps you get to your Mecha Hornet drones, your Kagari, and your Kaina. Your Kagari recycles the Mecha Hornet drones from your graveyard, adds it to the hand, you activate it again, and you keep. Well, let's explain that. in more detail. So your Sky Striker engine, you're going to start off by either activating the Mobilize Engage and adding the Mecha Hornet drones to your hand, or you might already have the Mecha Hornet drones in your hand. Activate the Mecha Hornet drones, it gives you a token. You use that token to link summon Sky Striker Ace Kagari. Kagari's effect is going to target a Sky Striker Speller Trap. Sky Striker spell in the graveyard and add it to the hand. So that is when you target the Mecha Hornet drones and add it to your hand. You can then activate the Mecha Hornet drones again, getting another token. Then you do a link summon, link 1, changing the link 1 Kagari into a Kaina. And that opens up the ability for you to continue to link summoning using the other token that you just got. So now you have the Kagari you turned into a Kaina. You have Kaina, a token. You could do a link 2 into a Predaplant Verte Anaconda. Or if you can do a normal summon like a Magician's Rod, or maybe a hand trap that you might have, or if you can get any other monster on the field at that point, you can do a link 3, which enables you to do you are able to summon the Selene, Queen of Master Magicians. Its effect will add counters to it equal to the number of spells on the field and in the graveyard. So as long as there are 3 or more spells on the field or in the graveyard, it'll have enough tokens to activate its effect. Selene's effect will bring back a spellcaster from the graveyard. What you're going to want to do is you can bring back the Dark Magician if you have the Salvation out on the field. If not, bring out the Dark Magician Girl or any other effect spellcaster from the graveyard. Then you can do a link 4 into access code. Going back, if you have the Magician Salvation on the field, then you could bring out the Dark Magician before you access code, because that'll get you the Dark Magician Girl off of the Salvation. But in order to summon the access code, you need 2 effect monsters. So you would have to then turn that Dark Magician into a Link Spider or something like that. Just remember that. I know that was long-winded about the Sky Striker engine, but it's powerful and it has to be explained in detail. You can start off with the Sky Striker, but it's not something that you want to start with. It's something that you want to go into mid-game. If we had Dragoon, then it would be something that you wanted to open with to help you get your Predaplant Verte Anaconda, send your Red Eyes Fusion to the grave, along with your Red Eyes Black Dragon and your Dark Magician, summon Dragoon, boom, perfect. But that's not what we're doing here. Next, we have Magicalized Fusion. You saw how many times I was able to summon the Quintet. If you ever get into a long grind game, just summon the Quintet, blow up their board. Nadir Servant, limit 1, works with your Dogmatica engine. You can send 1 monster from your extra deck to the graveyard, then add 1 Dogmatica monster or Fallen of Albaz from your deck or graveyard to your hand. That has less than or equal to attack than the monster sent to the graveyard from the extra deck. Also, for the rest of the turn after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck. So you can only activate 1 Nadir Servant per turn. With the Nadir Servant, you want to do all of your extra deck summons, finish doing your extra deck summons, and then activate the Nadir Servant. When you activate the Nadir Servant, you will send something like the Titaniclad, the Ash Dragon, to the graveyard. The Nadir Servant will search the deck and add the Ecclesia or the Fluttery to the hand. Then in the end phase, Titaniclad, the Ash Dragon, will also be searching the deck and adding the other Ecclesia or Fluttery to the hand. At that point, you can make the choice between one of those cards or adding the Dogmatica Punishment to your hand. Something to consider. So the Nadir Servant would allow you to add the punishment to your hand. But the Titaniclad would add a monster to your hand. That's Titaniclad, the Ash Dragon, in the extra deck. You send that from the extra deck to the graveyard using Nadir Servant. Moving on, in the main deck, we have one Magician's Salvation. We talked about it before. Magician's Salvation, when you summon a Dark Magician or a Dark Magician Girl, you can target the other one in your graveyard and special summon it. 2 Dark Magical Circles. You don't need 3. I search it from the deck. Sometimes I search one and I activate it. It gets destroyed. I search the second one. I don't need a third one. 1 Sky Striker Mecha Hornet Drones. We talked about this. 3 Soul Servants. Activate it. It's a quick play spell, so you can activate it on your opponent's turn. Helps you tribute a spellcaster for the Rod's effect in the graveyard. Soul Servant, quick play. You can place 1 card on the top of your deck from your hand, deck, or graveyard that is Dark Magician, or specifically list Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl in its text besides Soul Servant. During your main phase, you can banish Soul Servant from your graveyard and draw cards equal to the number of Palladium, Dark Magician, and or Dark Magician Girl with different names on the field and in the graveyards. Either graveyards or on the field. So basically, if you didn't understand that, if you have a Dark Magician and a Dark Magician Girl on the field or in the graveyard, you can banish a Soul Servant from the graveyard and draw 2 cards. You could draw 1 card for the Dark Magician and 1 card for the Dark Magician Girl. 3 of those Soul Servants help you draw cards. Add the card that you want to the top of your deck. I think the only normal card in this deck, Secrets of Dark Magic, used to fusion summon the Dark Magicians, or sometimes Dark Magician the Dragon Knight. To summon the Dark Magician Dragon Knight, you need to use I'm Duck, which is in the extra deck. Link 1, very easily summoned with 1 normal monster, but you can't use a token. The Dark Magicians, whenever a spell or trap or effect is activated, except during the damage step, you can draw 1 card. If it was a trap, if it was a spell or trap, you can set it. And if it was a trap or a quick play spell, you can activate it that turn. Interesting. If the Dark Magicians is destroyed, you can special summon both 1 Dark Magician and 1 Dark Magician Girl from your hand, deck, or graveyard. That's what we're using to summon. That's what we are summoning by using the Secrets of Dark Magic. Next, we are going to the traps. We have 2 infinite impermanents. Negate your opponent's monster's effects. You can activate it from your hand. Almost like it's like a hand trap. If it was set before it was activated, all spell or traps in the column where the monster was negated would be also negated. So if you negate a monster effect with the infinite impermanence, the zone behind it, any spell or trap activated in that, any spell or trap activated in that zone behind the monster that was negated would also be negated by the infinite impermanence. Now we are turning off our alerts. Dogmatica Punishment. Working with the Dogmatica monsters that we have here, the Flutery and the Ecclesia. Also the Ash Dragon. So the Dogmatica Punishment is what it does is you can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, send 1 monster from your extra deck to the graveyard, with equal or higher attack, and if you do, destroy the monster you targeted. Now, what you can do is you can send any monster from your extra deck to the graveyard, target one monster your opponent controls, and destroy that monster with less than or equal to attack. Now, if say you choose to send an Elder Entity Natiss's effect in the graveyard, when it's sent there that turn, it gets to destroy one card on the field. So you can get 2 pops, 2 destruction effects with 1 Dogmatic Punishment. It's a good card. The price to pay is you will not be able to summon monsters from the extra deck until the end of your next turn. So it's a tough price to pay for the Dogmatic Punishment. Following the Dogmatic Punishment, we have 3 Skill Drains. Skill Drain, its effect, you activate this card by paying 1,000 life points. Negate the effects of all face-up monsters while they are face-up on the field, but their effects can still be activated. All monster effects are negated. Basically, our goal here is to slow down the entire game between the Skill Drain and the Max C. We're going to slow down the game so that the opponent can not barely play the game, but they won't be able to do many special summons and activate as many effects, is the goal between the Infinite Impermanence and the Skill Drain. So we're going to slow them down, but we're still going to just be using our Eternal Soul and Dark Magical Circle to summon the Dark Magician and banish. That's all we're going to be doing. So 3 Skill Drains slows down the game. It's not stalling. We're just slowing it down. And finally, 2 Eternal Souls. 2 Dark Magical Circles and 2 Eternal Souls. I used to play just 1 of each. They're a little bit more important in this variation of the deck. You can play that how you want. Sometimes they ended up getting destroyed, and I would end up using the Soul Servant to top deck one of them from the graveyard. Now, we don't have Dragoon in here. It's not like it's TCG. We don't have Dragoon. So the Circle and Navigation, sorry, not the Navigation, the Dark Magical Circle Banish and the Eternal Soul is very important to this deck. I've cut it down to 40 cards. Maybe I'll throw in some variations here and there. I wouldn't go over 41 or 42. For the extra deck, we talked about Elder Entity Natiss. Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight, protects your back row. You summon that with the Secrets of Dark Magic. Don't try to summon that with the Magicalized Fusion. It's not going to work. The Dark Magician Dragon Knight is not a spellcaster. It's a Dragon-type monster. The Dark Magicians, special summon it, fusion summon it. It's a fusion monster with the Dark Magician or the Dark Magician Girl, plus 1 spellcaster. So you can use a Dark Magician or a Dark Magician Girl plus 1 other spellcaster to summon the Dark Magicians. When it's on the field, if a spell or trap or effect is activated, you can draw 1 card. If it was a spell or a trap, you can set it. If it was a quick play spell or a trap, you can activate it that turn. I don't end up using that effect very often, but it is interesting. Next, we have Titaniclad, the Ash Dragon. We discussed it. Send it to the graveyard off your Nadir Servant or your Dogmatic Punishment. It'll search the deck in the end phase. Quintet Magician. I don't think we have to discuss this much. Fusion summon it and send 5 different. Fusion summon it using 5 different spellcasters, and you can wipe your opponent's entire board. You want to summon the Quintet Magician using the Magicalized Fusion. Magicalized Fusion allows you to banish monsters from your extra deck to fusion summon. Banish 5 spellcasters with different names from your graveyard. Summon Quintet, win the game. Ebon Illusion Magician, rank 7 Xyz. I don't really get to use this card that much. It's interesting, keep it in there. You might be able to replace that with something. Link 1, Link Spider. This is used in the Sky Striker combo that we went over before. What you do is when you summon the Kakari, It gets you the Sky Striker spell, the Mecha Hornet drones from your graveyard, adds to your hand. You summon another you activate the Mecha Hornet drones, it summons another token. So you'll have the Kagari, and then you'll change the Kagari into a Kaina. So the Kaina is pointing down, the arrow, the link marker is pointing down at your side of the field. So now you can do link summons, and you're gonna have that. What is it? You're gonna have that token still, the Sky Striker token from the Mecha Hornet drones, and you're gonna turn that token into a Link Spider, which you can then link to into the Predaplant Verte Anaconda. If that doesn't make sense, don't worry. I know it sounds like a lot, but it will make sense when you do it. If you have any questions, come visit us in live stream. Link in the description. We're live streaming on Twitch 5-6 days a week. I'll see you there. If you want, you're also welcome to join the Discord. Link in the description. New player helpers are there at all times. And there you can ask me directly any questions about this deck. Next, well, we're skipping over the Sky Striker engine, the Sky Striker Ace Kagari and Sky Striker Ace Kaina, because we talked about that. Now we are at Artemis, the Magistus Moon Maiden. Artemis doesn't really do anything, doesn't do anything on the field. Has no effect useful to you. All you're doing is summoning the Magician's Rod, then you link one into the Artemis, and you're going to, whatever you search, whether it's a Magician's Salvation and it sets this Eternal Soul, or you're going to be searching the Soul Servant with your Magician's Rod. You're going to be doing one of those. Turn the rod into an Artemis, activate a spell or trap on your opponent's turn, trigger the rod's effect in the graveyard, tribute the Artemis, add the rod back to your hand. Rod will then be able to search again on the next turn. That's why the Artemis is in the deck, and I really like that combo. I call it it's the Magician's Rod recycle. Predaplant Verte Anaconda, limit 1. I didn't even realize that. If you're not familiar with the Predaplant, it's a link 2. It fusion summons. I'll just read the effect. It has 2 effects. You can target one face-up monster on the field. It becomes dark until the end of this turn. Its second effect is you can pay 2,000 life points and send one fusion or polymerization, normal, or quick play spell from your deck to the graveyard. This effect becomes that spell's effect. When that card is activated, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn. So basically what the Predaplant Verte Anaconda does is it sends the Magicalized Fusion or the Secrets of Dark Magic from the deck to the graveyard to basically copy its effect. And there you can summon a Dragon Knight or the Dark Magicians, whatever have you. Next in the extra deck, rank 3 Selene, the Queen of Master Magicians. It gains a spell counter for each spell on the field or in the graveyards. So as long as there are at least three spells on the field or in either graveyard, Selene gets 3 counters, and you can use its effect to special summon a spellcaster from the graveyard. You're going to want to special summon the Dark Magician Girl or any other type of effect spellcaster. That way you have a link 3 in the Selene, special summon a spellcaster from the graveyard, and you can link 4 into your next. We're talking about the access code talker. But before we move completely on to the access code talker, one little tidbit about the Selene. It's not even directly related to the Selene. If you have Magician's Salvation out while you're summoning a spellcaster from the graveyard with the Selene, it doesn't matter if you summon the Dark Magician or the Dark Magician Girl. Summon one of them, the Salvation will get the other one. Just make sure you activate the Salvation. If you don't, and you summon a Dark Magician, you can turn the Dark Magician Girl, the Dark Magician, into an I'm Duck. That's an effect monster, and you'll be able to do your Link 4 access code. Link 4 next in the extra deck. Link 4 access code. I'm sure you're all familiar. Access code.
最強のしもべ
Two people follow us while I'm trying to film this video. Access code talker. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this card's effect activations. If this card is link summoned, you can target one linked monster that was used as materials for the access code's link summon, and the access code gains attack equal to that monster's link rating times 3000. So if you're using the Celine, the Queen of Master Magicians, to summon the access code talker gains 3000 attack. Access code talker's second effect. You can banish one link monster from your field or graveyard and destroy one card your opponent controls. Oh, also, for the banishing effect, or for the destruction effect, when you banish link monsters, you cannot banish monsters with that same attribute to activate the effective access code. So in the extra deck, we have a link spider, which I'm not sure, what is that, Earth? I don't know. But the Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight, is a dark type monster. That's not even a link. What am I doing? Predaplant, that's a link monster. It's dark. Celine, it's light. Access code is dark. Artemis is light. I can't banish an Artemis to activate access code talker's effect if I already banished Celine, because they're both light. I hope that makes sense. Finally, I have one 5-headed Link Dragon in the extra deck. It has 5000 attack. That is only for the Dogmatica punishment. You can send the 5-head Link Dragon from the extra deck to the graveyard, activate the Dogmatica punishments effect, and you can almost destroy any monster on the field as long as it has less than 5000 attack. That's the entire deck. I've been talking about this, watching replays, for 43 minutes. I'm going to have to cut this down somehow. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Consider subscribing. If you have any questions, we are live streaming on YouTube 5 or 6 days a week. We'll see you there. Discord, active community, almost 900 members. We're hosting 5 free entry tournaments a week. I probably told you in the beginning of this video. If you didn't already, consider subscribing. Thank you. Peace out. Dark Magician best deck.